My name is John. Welcome to this overview of zapMYstock, stock taking for MYOB AccountRight from ASP Microcomputers. Here we see the initial screen. From this screen we can configure our software, we can create a stocktake, we can print barcode labels, we can send our created stocktake to a terminal, we can print stock count sheets. Once a count is done, we can load data from the terminal back into zapMYstock. We can view any count differences, and we can view reports. Let's have a look at how to configure zapMYstock. Very simply, click on the Configure button. Here we see that a company has already been loaded. It is a test company from a sample database called Clearwater Proprietary Limited. In addition to the company, we also have the AccountRight Inventory Adjustment account. That is where the information is kept in MYOB for this company. To select your own company, you click on Select. This gives us some possibilities. We can select a company from the local library, that is the files in the PC. We could go online and log into MYOB if we have a cloud account and download our company information from there. Or we could check network libraries, that is other PCs on the network that have the company information. In our particular case, we're using the library and we already have the Clearwater Proprietary Limited loaded. So let's continue. We basically ensure that the company and the appropriate file for the inventory adjustment in this case is selected, and just click OK. Now that we have configured zapMYstock, it's time to create a stocktake. To do that, just click on the Create Stocktake button. We have already configured these details in the configuration, so all we have to do is click on Create. Here we see that our configured company, Clearwater Proprietary Limited, is loaded. We have a total inventory count, and the stocktake has been successfully created. We now just click Close. We can now transfer our stocktake to the terminal. Here we have our Casio DTX7. Place it in the cradle, and automatically it connects to the PC. You can see it's connected through the Windows Mobile Device Center. Once connection is made, we just start zapMYstock. And automatically we are at the main menu. We can now transfer our stocktake. Now that we've downloaded the stocktake data into the terminal, stocktaking couldn't be easier. Just click on Stocktake at the main menu, and you're ready to scan. You're presented with item details. Just enter the quantity available, push Enter, and continue. Let's have a look at that in close-up. Let's now have a look at printing barcode labels. To do that, just click on Print Barcodes. Here we see the inventory list for Clearwater Limited. This is of course a sample company with a small list of only 11 items. zapMYstock can of course handle thousands, in fact tens of thousands of items. The reason for printing barcode stickers is of course that we wish to identify each item on its shelf or in its bin, so we can scan the barcode and count the items. The list is given as barcodes, item name, and stock on hand. We can click on each of these and sort them. So sort by barcode, sort by item name, or sort by stock on hand. We also have a filter. We can filter by item name, or we can filter by stock on hand. Especially useful if, for example, you wish to list all the items that have zero stock. To clear the filter, just click on Clear Filters. Before we can print barcode labels, we need to choose those that we wish to print. We can do so manually, or we can select all, or unselect. Of course, we have to have some selected to be able to print them, so let's select all. Custom fields is another possible choice. If we click on that, we find that we can choose to list a number of custom fields. Now, custom fields are typically set in MYOB, and they contain, for example, the color or the size of the given item. We can choose to view them here. The same sorting and filtering applies. These are currently empty. And by the way, we can choose to show the custom fields on the barcode terminal as well. Another option is how to print the labels, and that is what template to use. We have the Avery TL20 or Avery L7158. These metal options, 3x11, 4x16 and 5x18, are sheet sizes that are available from ASP Microcomputers. Once we have selected the items to print and selected our label type, we just click Print. Both laser and inkjet printers work very well for this. Just ensure the adhesive label stock is loaded into your printer, and in a few seconds we have our labels printed according to our settings. Now all that's left is to attach the labels to the bins and shelves that carry our stock, and we're ready to begin our stock take. It's that easy. We've seen zapMYstock now in terms of configuring the software. We have created the Stocktake, we've sent our Stocktake to the terminal, and now let's have a look at loading the Stocktake once completed from the terminal back into zapMYstock. We just click on the Load from Terminal button, follow the prompts ensuring we are connected, and just simply click to retrieve our data back into zapMYstock from the Barcode terminal. Very easily done. The purpose now, of course, is to have a look at our Stocktake, and the best way of doing that is to view any differences. So examine the differences between the stock that has been counted and what's supposed to be on hand. We can see here the three columns: stock on hand, counted, and difference. Now, for the most part, these are quite right. There's a few items here that have a negative difference, so there's fewer items counted than we should have. And a couple of them here, our glass, crock, and let's see, our tea at the very bottom, they show 0 counts, so we've missed those. Good way of actually determining stock that was missed. We need to go back and ensure those are counted. Now, of course, the stock list will be quite lengthy, so we'll use our pull-down menu here to sort. Let's sort on, for example, any items that are less than 0, so negative items. Now, let's have a look here. A couple of them have, we've counted one fewer than we should have on hand. And we can also do the same thing with the counted column. Let's have a look here at counts. Let's have a look at empty counts, counts that are nil. We've missed those. So obviously, if you have a long list of stock, you can quickly sort this way. Now, we can of course adjust the inventory. For those, let's say we found a missing item, we want to adjust the inventory, and we just have an adjust inventory button. Now, we need to specify which item, otherwise you'll get this message saying you have not specified the item you want to adjust. We just pick the item. Here we've found a missing item, and we'll adjust the stock back to what it should be, 37, and adjust. Now, Normally this is sent to MYOB, but there's no need in this case. The stock is correct as was expected to be in the database, and no adjustment in MYOB is necessary. So here we have an easy, simple way of looking at the differences between the stock on hand and what has been counted. We can sort, we can filter, we can determine any missing items, all very, very straightforward and very easy with zapMYstock. And now we'll have a look at a series of reports, some information on the stock itself. So let's click on reports, and here we see there's a couple different types. We have the current Stocktake set of reports, and we have the Stocktake historical reports. Firstly, we'll have a look at the current Stocktake reports, and that is the first one here, all items. Click on preview. And here we see all the items that were counted. The item name, the stock on hand, the counted quantity, any differences. So this information is the complete stock take. At this point we can choose to, of course, view it, we can choose to save it, and saving it shown here a number of possibilities: Acrobat files, Word file, Excel file for export, for example. We can save it as a common delineated text file, CSV file, as an image possibly, as a picture, and of course we can print. We send it to a local printer and print this report out for our records. So very straightforward, a comprehensive summary of the stock itself. Let's have a look at the other option here, items counted. Looks very similar. Now, as the name implies, these are only the items that were counted, so it excludes any items that were not counted. And how do we know what those are? Well, there's a report for items uncounted. So very important, we can refer to this report and notice the items that were missed, that are part of the stock that's supposed to be on hand but were not taken into account in the Stocktake. Items processed basically refers to items that were sent to MYOB. Here we specifically only sent one item to MYOB, and the rest remain unprocessed. Once we click on the Update Stock Count button in the Stocktake itself, then the items will be sent to MYOB and will be listed as processed. So at this stage, the items listed do not have their stock quantities updated as yet. Perhaps we want to make some further adjustments, but when we do make the adjustment, they'll be listed as updated in MYOB. The last set, just a single report of Stocktake history. You can see the historical view of all the Stocktakes that were undertaken. The current one, we can click on preview, and it would give us basically information on the items that are part of the Stocktake, as we can see here. So a set of reports that are very useful to us in reviewing both the current stock and perhaps previous Stocktakes. And that completes our view of zapMYstock, making stock taking for MYOB AccountRight a cinch. Thank you.